Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Thanks for joining me today on my photo edit live stream where you can submit your images and we edit them here live. And also I usually put out an image of one of mine that you can edit and send back and we'll look at those. It's always fun to see what you guys do with my images. They've been really amazing. But let's see. I put the live stream up a little bit late last night, so I didn't get too many submissions today, but we still got a good collection here. It looks like, uh, let's see. Whoops, wrong button. Hold on. There we go. um, as you can see, I got my green screen back, so I'm just a little silhouette now in the corner. But we got 3, 6, 9, 9 images today. Good. So that'll take some time. Is anybody here? I don't see anybody in the chat section here. Oh, okay. Music is here. Good. Thanks. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hey, John, how are you? Let's work. Here's one from Ivan. Let's look at the EXIF data. Roberto, hi. And we got the Olympus 12-40 with Pro f2.8 on EM5 Mark III, f11 ISO 200 1/250th. So yeah, I would have shot this at f5.6. F11 you start to get some diffraction. So try shooting a little bit lower aperture. I mean, maybe it was just, the setting it was at, but be conscious of that when you do landscapes and things. I found f5.6 is perfect, for landscapes. All right, and let's take a look at, is there, hold on. Just making sure there's audio. Okay. Drag this over if I can. All right, so first thing we need to do is a little bit too much sky. I'm going to crop this a lot, but let me look at this full screen and see. Yeah, that 12-40 Pro lens, it's a great lens. So I think lots of interesting things in this image. I'm just trying to find a subject here. I like the little island here. I like everything going on here in these little farms. And the sky could be pretty amazing if it's a backdrop for maybe a subject that's a little closer, but at distance, sometimes there's too much sky when you're at a distance like this. And lots of haze too, the atmosphere. So let me work on the horizon first. Just want that to be straight. I'm just going to eyeball it. That looks about right. Let's go with a tight wide crop. Vertical might be interesting too. Look at that for a second. I'm going to look at this. I don't know why, but this caught my eye. Maybe not. All right, let's try ultra wide. And just come in a little bit more. So I really like what's going on here in the foreground. Like right about I think right about there works for me. Tiny bit more straightening maybe. Let me punch in and see. I think we're okay. I just kind of put this cluster of buildings here in the bottom right. Kind of get your eye started to start looking into the scene. And I saved the island. And then of course I got rid of most of the sky because I think most of the interesting stuff is down here. And let's just do some dehaze just to clean it up a little bit. And put the sharpness back in. Noise filters off, very good. I think, let me check my, yeah, my computer's running at full blast. You can probably hear the fans just going crazy now. Now let's work with the colors. Let's see, I do have something here, but I want to warm this image up a little bit. Because it's very hazy. Maybe a little bit warmer. Now, the challenge I'm having, I never like blue and green mixed together. Not where I'm trying to get some kind of softness to the image. Because usually blue and green, they're contrasting colors, right? They're not complementary. I might have to go with, let me go to 7000K. I might have to go black and white on this. I'm just not getting enough color separation here. But there's a lot of good tones here in the green that I think we can work with. I'm just worried that the tones aren't going to translate too well going into the blue. Let me just crank the dehaze all the way up. And I'm going to add some contrast just via the tone curves. Standard S curve on this. I need to reframe a little bit. I feel like it needs to be a little bit tighter. Okay. We're getting there. I want to bring out the whites here in the ocean. Or river, lake, whatever that is. A little more. Okay, let me try some gradation. Switch that to auto. I want to try and bring some of the tree shadows back. Gradation is really good at bringing the shadows up without killing the highlights. And I'm gonna shift the colors a tiny bit. I want a little more green. So I'm gonna shift the green down. Maybe I can shift these blues. No. Let me shift the yellows a tiny bit more green. And then I'm going to saturate the yellows. Let me let that render for a second. Let me go back to the hue. I don't know if that worked or not. I'm just trying to get a little more contrast here in the greens and yellows. But this yellow is starting to look a little bit weird. Maybe if I white balance it in magenta. Just add a couple of clicks here. There we go. There, now we got good contrast. Maybe one more notch on the magenta. That might jack it up too much, but yeah, that's a little bit too much. All right, let's see how that looks full screen. Yeah, because it was just kind of a mush green all the way across. Now let me work with the blue a little bit, and then I think I'll be done. So let's go back to the color wheel, and I don't know if it needs more saturation, but it needs to be maybe a little darker. But let me work on the blues. Just need them a little stronger. Shift to the blue side. Go a little more. All right. There, I think that's definitely a stronger blue. Now luminance wise, see if I can add some contrast. So we'll darken the blues, but then we'll crank up the teal. If I can do this without jacking up the ground. That's hardly noticeable. Wait, let me push it even more. Right. I might have to go into the saturation. Crank up the blue saturation. Yeah, that helped. Do a little more. All right, that's good. So I shifted the greens to be a little bit more yellow and to separate some of the tones here, but now this is more of a blue and yellow, which is a little more complementary, right, between the sea and the ground. And then of course the contrast and everything else helps. Let's just add a touch of clarity. Be a touch more. And we'll call it here. Let's do a before and after. Okay, so the yellows are a little strong. Now that I've kind of look at these side by side, I might have overdone it. So let me tone that back a bit. Let's try it. Let's just do it with saturation maybe. And luminance. Pull it back here. All right, that's final answer. Yeah, I think that works. This works for me. The composition wise, cropping it in nice and tight. Yeah, forget the clouds. Just focus on all of the action going on here in the farms. I think that's where the story is. And I like the little island here. So let's look at that full screen. I think this came out pretty good. Oops, not that full screen. Yeah, that looks really good. I mean, you could spend some more time tweaking this, and then of course, you know, Lightroom or some other editor would do a better job. But I think this is pretty decent. It'd be really cool if there was some lettering in here. That'd be easy to Photoshop in, right? Some lettering here. But okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful picture though. I love the farms and all the water here. And you can see some sheep and cows down here. James Popsis would like the sheep, right? I miss his sheep videos. He hasn't had sheep in his videos in a while. All right, let's try the next one here. Thanks, Lysippus. Thanks, nature. I try, you know. Wow, this is a tight shot of a car. What's this? A GTR, GT3 RS. Must be a Porsche. Yeah, it's a Porsche. I like the lines in the hood here. This is like one of my least favorite colors. This green. When it comes on cars, I'm not a big fan of green on cars, but let's see. What would I do with this? This is a cell phone or something. What? Let me look at the EXIF here. A DMC G81, so it's a Panasonic ISO 3200 at f5.6, 1/60th of a second. So yeah, that's about all you can do with this. Probably a kit lens. Gosh, it's weird that this line is straight, but then the car looks tilted for some reason. So I think it's a skewing error of some kind. All right, I think this is just going to be a an art filter. That's all, because there's not much to work with compositionally. It's a very tight shot. So let's go with not diorama, dummy. Uh, Chromatic tone, and let's see. Do I have a noise filter anywhere? I don't have any noise filter I can work with. So oh no, I don't think this is the same location, but maybe. I need to straighten this somehow because this car being crooked. Let me think about the. Let me think about this keystoning. I think I need to go this way, not that way. This. That looks really weird. We'll just leave it. What if I tilt it a little bit, then do keystoning? Golly, I'm really jacking up, but it's bugging me. All right, that's a tiny bit straighter. Yeah, the driveway might be slanted. It's just weird because the doors are going up this way. I don't know. Anyway, that's a little better to my eye, even though the car looks distorted now. Let's work with the tones a little bit more than the dramatic tone did. I'm gonna just even make it even more contrasty. And pull in some dehaze. That really jacks up the dramatic tone too, and the clarity. Anything else in here I want? No. Pull off the sharpness. Since I don't have a noise filter, I'll just pull the sharpness back. All right, let's look at before and after, see where we're at. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. I just, let me try one other thing. It's just that green. I just don't like this green. Oh, good. Yeah, that looks better. God, get rid of that green. Let me put a red filter to darken it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, sorry, I just don't like the green color. So I went black and white, so it's grainy black and white now. You know, when you have grain, you just have to work with it, right? So that's my final edit. Little heavy on the contrast, but I think that to me works a little better. If I take the clarity off, we'll get a little less grain, I think. Yeah, that helps. Okay. Nice car, terrible color. Personally speaking, I can't stand green. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, we have a portrait. I think I've seen her before in the portraits. Man, if I had look at that, tack sharp too. If I had Photoshop, I would definitely work on this a little differently. But what I'm gonna have to do, she has green eyes, man. You can even see who's taking the picture here. Looks like they're in a hoodie. What would I do here? I might have to go black and white again. I'm gonna try not to, but do that. I'm not really a portrait guy. Oh, I don't have any picture modes. Oh, this is a JPEG. That's why. With a JPEG, at least I get the color wheel back. Let me just bring a little contrast back in. And a tiny bit of clarity, hopefully to bring the eyes out a little better. Try again. Basically, I'm trying to bring the whites of the eyes back in. Sometimes clarity can help with that. And let me white balance it. Well, do I have any white balance control at all? Really, but let me pull this back just a tiny bit. We're okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of red saturation. Yeah, maybe one click on the orange. That might look weird though. I might back that off. Okay. And I'm gonna crop in. I don't like this bright spot above her head. Let's see if that works. That helps a little bit. And then if I white vignette this a little bit, let me do it this way. That'll offset some of the whiteness up here. Tiny bit more. And I'm going to increase the effect on this, but then I'm going to bring the contrast back in down here. Let me do it this way. All right, I need to be a tad warmer actually. I might have to do it with these greens. There we go. That's the right warmth I want. Now the greens, let's make the greens a little more green. And crank up the brightness a little bit on the greens too. Now I can add a little more warmth back in. All right, let me look at it before and after. Yeah, okay. That's where I would go with this edit. The challenge with this as a, you know, when I'm just looking at this, I feel like it needs more fill light and a little more key light in the eyes, right? So maybe a fill flash would have probably been perfect here. And that would have balanced out the white balance between the back here, which is very warm, versus this is a little bit cool down in here. So that's why I was doing all the shifts with the color and the hue and things, and then messing with the white balance. I was trying to balance this warmth behind her versus kind of the relatively coolness in the front. And then just going soft focus and a white vignette. I mean, the white vignette, you can kind of take it or leave it, but because the sky here is so white, I just needed to kind of wash that out the best I can. And then just go a little bit tighter anyway. We don't really need all this space on the left here. But okay, there we go. I think that came out okay. Oh, thanks, Jeff. Let's see. Thank you, John. And then Music Nature says, maybe a little on the soft side, but I have never done portraits. Yeah, I'm not a big portrait guy either. But I think that looks pretty decent. No, that would be my take on it. I should probably back off some of the, where's my saturation? I'm gonna back off these two. Because I already warmed it up a little bit with the white balance. Probably don't need to saturate too much in there. And just a little bit softer on the tones. But anyway, that's the direction I would go. In Lightroom, I would add a little more key lighting, and then I can probably do that actually, even with Workspace. Just need a clone stamp. Let me see. If I do this, smaller brush. Okay, let me back off. Let me pick a spot up here. Oh, come on, Workspace. Did it freeze up? Let me reset. Try one more time. A little smaller brush. Pick a spot right here. Back down. All right. All right, that was a mess. I have to tone this down, way down. Well, you guys get the idea. I mean, it's cloning with Workspace has been a challenge for me, but I would add a little more key light in the eyes, maybe brush a little more brightness here, but yeah. All right, let's move on. Nice shot though. Who sent that in? Von Swarchild, good job. Nice portrait. Just watch maybe a fill flash next time to add more key light and balance the white balance better. All right. Oh, I like the reflection here. I'm gonna go tight and wide. Forget about the sky again. So let's try a 16 by 9. Just come in a little tighter. Keep the tops of the trees there. Nice straight lines. Very good. Pop art filter. And then pull it back off here. Pack some sharpness back in. Let me look at the EXIF now. 40 to 150 kit lens, EM10 Mark II at f5, ISO 200, 1/2000th of a second. Awesome settings. Awesome settings. Great combination there. Levente. Oh, Levente's sent this. He's been pretty reliable sending stuff in. Where's my saturation? The red's a bit too strong now. I don't think I can't back it off this way either. What's the picture mode? Natural. Let's try muted. All right, that's good. And pull it off a bit. A little more on the greens in here. Let me try 5250. I wish I could do some. These blues, hang it. This blue is just too. The art filter causing that blue to be that ugly. Yeah. I'm not crazy about this teal blue. I just don't see a way to. Let me try 5400. That helps, but now it's a little bit too warm down here for me. We'll split the difference, 5300. And let me compare now where we're at. Okay. Let me look at the red here. That's okay. It's a little strong, but I'm okay with that. And we did this, we did this. What else can we do here? Nothing, right? Yeah, nothing there. All right, let me work with, maybe I can fix it with a tone curve. I go into the red tone curve, and the reds are all the way here at the top. If I pull this off a little bit, back here. I mean, I'm just getting kind of artsy-fartsy with it because there's so many colors here. And let me go to the blue channel, see if I can fix the blues. Blues are right. Look at this huge spike on the blues. So I'm going to put a pin on either side. See if I can. All right, that's kind of where I need to be. All right, let's look at a full screen. Man, Levente's got an eye for color though. You know, all of his pictures, they always have some interesting color in them. I know it has to do with places that you visit, but then when you get there, you have to be able to see it. And he's really got a good eye for finding these really great colors wherever he goes. Let's see. I think I'm done, actually. I'd like a little more contrast. Let me try some clarity with the tiles and the roofing here. Where's my clarity slider? I mean, I would use a brush in Lightroom and just brush the roofs. Let me see if clarity can help a little bit with that. That helped a little. Yeah, I can see a little more detail now here and in here. Yeah, perfect. Now I've got the texture I want in the roofing. All right, so quick before and after. Whoops. Whoops. Quick before and after. Let's see. Yeah, just a 16:9 crop and then tweak the colors a little bit to make them pop a little more. A little bit green on the yellows here. I don't like that. That's because I was jacking with the frickin' red curve, I think, was doing that. Where are these at? I was trying to fix the blue. Well, in Lightroom, I would use a color mask and fix the blues, but okay. I think that works. All right, let's go. Bird shot. You had to be at like 1/1000th of a second because there's still too much motion blur here. And I love these little titmouses. Look at the EXIF here. Yeah, I nailed it here. 1/1000th of a second, right? ISO 3200, 75 to 300 f2.8 from John Follows. Yeah, this lens is rough. If you start getting in the high ISOs with this 75 to 300, it's really hard to get a clean shot. And because it's such a slow lens, you don't have a lot of choice to keep the ISOs low. So, and then on top of that, we got motion blur. So we got a lot of challenges here. What I would do is, what time is it? Yeah, I have to watch the timing today. Okay, pop art definitely. And then white balance we need to fix. A little bit wonky on the White balance is too green. So let's go. How can this be green and warm at the same time? This is a weird white balance issue. Let me back off a little bit. Maybe let's go up a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull this green off a little bit. Good luck with this one, right? I know, right? I'll make it work. Some dehaze and clarity. And more dehaze. Let's pull, whoops, wrong channel. Right about there. Let's do a square crop. Just to get that sense of looking up. Now I'm cropping in on a blurry image at high ISO with a soft lens. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use unsharp mask. I think let me just see what this does. I don't want to add too much sharpness to the grain here, so I'm just going to look and see. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm looking right here. Okay, that didn't do too much damage. Let's go with a radius of 1 pixel, threshold of like 20. Back off the threshold a little bit. And you're watching at 24p. That's funny. And let's turn the noise filter on to low. Maybe that'll clean up some of the softer areas over here. Like I said, I'm using this as a reference. Oh, that kind of killed the detail in the feathers, but look at this bird. Let me turn off the filter again. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the filter on. I just have to adjust this masking a little bit. Maybe if I pull this off. Oh, hi Cube. Cuba just Zowie. Cuba just Zowie. Cuba just Zowie. There's a link in the description of this video. I may not have time to get to it today because I have to leave a little bit early. I think, let me see if I can fake some sharpness with the contrast again. Or the clarity. I'm going to pull a little bit of the color off. And let me work on the crop right there. Uh, and then I'm just going to add a little more vignette. Hot Springs, Virginia. Hi, Danny. Kubu. I recently got an OMD Mark II and been chewing through your videos. They've been a ton of help. Oh, good. I'm glad I could help. All right, I think this is it for this one. This one is this is the best I can do. uh, this is maybe that Topaz AI sharpen or something might work better with this. I could do a better job in Lightroom with the sharpening and things. But when I do it here in Workspace, it's hard to sharpen without jacking up all the softer areas. Especially with an image with this kind of lens, ISO, shutter speed combination. There's a lot of challenges here. Tiny birds like these titmouses have to be done at 1/2000th of a second. And what you would do, you're pretty close. What was your focal length, John? Let me see. Where's my mouse? Here. You are at 228. So you are pretty close to these birds. I would say not even 10 meters. Like probably 6 or 7 meters away. What I would do is use a on-camera flash on top of your camera. That'll knock your shutter speed down to 1/250th of a second, but the flash will illuminate the birds, and that'll act as your shutter speed. Because the flash speed is usually at least 1/1000th of a second, sometimes higher depending on the flash power. Maybe try that. Maybe try using a flash, popping a flash, and then narrow the zoom on the flash head to 105 millimeters, as narrow as it'll go, and see if that works. I tried a few times. I got mixed results, but that's because I didn't know what I was doing. But I think with a little practice, you could probably get better bird shots using a flash with that lens. I'm going to practice a little bit and see myself, but I think I see some promise with that. But otherwise, yeah, you did the best you can with what you had, available light and that lens, I think. Yeah, so yeah, I can pull the saturation back a little bit, nature. Where's my saturation? I can pull this back some more. That helps, I think. Maybe just go a little bit warmer. There's still a little bit too much green. But okay, that's what I would do. All right. Yeah, always send a raw Kubu. Like I said, I'm not sure I'll be able to get to it today, but I'll try. I'll work faster here. Dang it. This line is crooked, and so I gotta fix the skewing. This is a really there's interesting things in this shot, but then all together the sum of the parts just don't add up. I like this red and green contrast here. I like the textures I'm seeing in the stone and the wood. There's a lot of great elements in this image, but somehow the sum of the parts just don't add up. Because overall the image doesn't work. And the way things are so tight together, it's hard to crop out the things that aren't working. I'm debating, and then there's this harsh sun down here in the corner. Oof, let me think. Maybe shot a little bit lower and then doing a vertical, right? So come a little lower and do a vertical shot. I think that would have worked better. Because that's where I'm thinking of going with this crop, is doing a vertical. And just sticking with this chair. And the part of the window. And then let me deskew it. Hi Ren, how are you? Where's my deskewing tools? Let me do this one. Might have to recrop this. Gosh, that looks weird, doesn't it? Let me look at my crop again. How far can I come off this side? Now the chair is looking. Oh. I'm gonna do that. I'm trying to keep some elements of this image, but declutter it somehow. All right, let's work with that crop. Light tilt this way. All right, that's the composition I'm going to go for. And then the dramatic tone art filter might be the easiest approach. Either color, because I like the red and the green, but that's not really showing here. If we do it to black and white, yeah, I'm mixed on that. Gentle sepia. Hey Liz, how are you? Wow, it's been a long time. No, it's not sepia. I'm leaning towards black and white, even though I like the red and green, but it's not showing with. Let me look at. Oh, the wood is so faded that I would like this wood to be kind of more oranges. Do I have any color control here? Let me see if I can bring the orange out. Ooh, no, that's jacking up the reds. Let's shift the red color a little bit, be more red. And then we'll shift the greens. Okay, let me work on the green a little bit. Need the greens to be brighter. And let's warm it up. White balance. A bit warmer. Just a slight more tilt. And let me put an auto gradation in, or work with the gradation. Yeah, let me work with the gradation. I want to bring a little bit more in the bottom, and then I'm going to work with the tone curve after this. I'm trying to bring out these greens in here to balance out all of the red going on. All right, now let me go back to the greens. There we go. Back to Mundo, a tiny bit more on the red. And let's work with the tone curve now. Let's see what I can do. Well, let's do a little dehaze. Clarity. If we can bring out some of the texture in the wood here and here. A little bit more clarity. Yeah, that's bringing out the texture nicely. There's a little more. Hey, Ren, I'll look for it. I'm running short on time today, so I might have to come back later. That's a hair too much, a little bit too gritty. Need to add a vignette. This is a little bit too bright over in here around the wood, and yeah, a little more vignette, that'll work. Do about a fourth there, and tilt this just a tiny bit more. All right, let me see where we're at. Okay. That's pretty much where I would go with this image. I didn't touch the tone curve though. Let me just do a touch here. Just to give it a little more grit. I'm going to pull it down here. And hold this. I should have done this before I messed with the saturation. All right, I can, okay. All right, where's that orange? Let me see the orange again. Oh, not saturation, dummy. Hold on, luminance. Let me pull up the orange. Yellow. I'm trying to accentuate this area right here. And I need to shift the blue. The hue is a little bit off. It's a little bit too purple. We'll shift this purple off. All right. I might have to do it with the tone curve. I'm not getting too far with the color wheel. And a little stronger vignette. This is just too bright here. All right, almost there. Now I'm starting to feel it. I can just pull a little more contrast in the wood. I wish I could do more with the green. Where's my color wheel? Where's the luminance on the green? Let me see if I can pull that up. All right. And maybe the rusty brackets on the chair arms not too much. Yeah, I'll fix this. I'll fix that. I think I can do that with a clone stamp. Let me go about here, here, back that off, and pick somewhere here. Let's go a little darker, a little bit too bright. Reset. A little bit darker. All right. A little bit of a shadow here I'd like to try and accentuate if I can. But wow, I'm spending too much time on this image, but there we go. So there's the before and after. Kind of crazy, right? An extreme edit, but I think that took this picture on the left from just a very, it's really, like I said, there's a lot of interesting elements, but then all together it just didn't work. So I just wanted to create a mood where, you know, the reds are still a little harsh. I could spend a little more time on this. Like this wouldn't be my final edit, but this is probably 90% there. But I like this green and this red. I had to make the reds a little more red and the greens a little bit more green. And then this blue chair, this blue and red. I don't normally like blue and red or blue and green, but I think in this case that contrasty color, blue to red, makes a nice shift. But it was a little purple before, so that's why I shifted the hue on the blues to make it more blue and less purple. And then it was a good call to get rid of this orange. Yeah, that was kind of an eyesore. But I think we're done. I think that looks a lot more interesting. It looks really overbaked a little bit. But maybe a tad more clarity in the haze. Let me just... All right, let's move on. I got 3 more images here and maybe 1 or 2 more. I got to do these 3 fast. Okay. This is already a 16 by 9. Is this another 75 to 300 lens? A 14 to 150. ISO 200, EPL 6, or at 150 at f6.3. What's the shutter speed? 1/400th. Gosh, why is this image? I guess because the birds are all... Yeah, this is a rough shot. Something's not right, and I can't put my finger on it. Because it looks good here. I assume this was your focus point, right? When you selected focus. All right. So let me check the crop here. John Yutze. Oh, you were here earlier. Let me check this. I think this is already 16 by 9, but oh, it's not. So we can go a little bit tighter. Like so. And let's warm this image up a lot. This needs to be a lot warmer. Well, this is a JPEG. and some magenta just to give it that kind of beachy feel. All right, that looks really warm, but bear with me. Let me see what happens. Need a slight tilt this way. And let me work with the tone curves. That'll offset sort of that super warm. I need the gradation now. Reset this. Let me start over. Really low here. I don't know if there's, I'm not sure there's enough color left to, I might have to go black and white. Yeah, I can't separate the color of this ocean with this sand. I was hoping I could do that with the tone curve, but it's just not working. So I'm gonna go monotone. Let me try red filter. That just made the sky worse. Go green. No filter. Yeah, red wasn't bad. Let me reset this curve again. Man, this is, I might have to go full on silhouette. I think I'll do that. Rather than try to save any detail in the birds and this lady, we'll just go full on silhouette. But I don't want to kill the sand too much. A little bit of clarity. Hey Des, how are you? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. Let me try a slight vignette. And a little bit different crop. Let me see what a vertical looks like. I'm just, we do that. I think I like that a little better. Yeah, maybe not that tight, but something like this. Either to the left is not bad. A little harsher on the silhouette. And is just below. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right, that's the best I can do in the time I got. So, other than this UFO up here, I would brush that out. Dang it. Let me just. There's the before and after. I'm not happy with this edit either, really. But man, this image on the left is so soft and mushy somehow, and I can't figure out why. I think it's just bad lighting. But based on the exposure, the lighting wasn't that bad, so something I'd have to be there and chimp a couple shots and figure out what's wrong with the lighting here. Because the lighting should be really good. It's just really I can't put my finger on it. But okay, let's move on to the next one. Wow, this is a giant pano. Ooh, okay, this will be easy, actually. I don't know if I keep, man, this is really wide though. But I like everything I'm seeing. It's gonna be hard to tell through the live stream, but let me just God, this is already edited really well. It just needs a little more contrast. So let me start with the haze and clarity. Oh, this is a panel done with a Sony camera. I see. Let me see what the haze does. Okay, getting there. And pull it in. So all right, let me look at this. I like this mountain. I like this. Man, can you hear that helicopter? It's like shaking my whole house. I feel like it's gonna land on my house. Dang it, I don't like this mound right here. What starts in 10 minutes? Hold on. Oh, crap. Yeah, okay. So I got about 10 minutes left. Alexa was just announcing something to me. I think this is the only thing I don't like is this mound right here. It looks like a bunch of sheep down in here. So I'm going to crop this. I'm just going to crop it. Let's go with a 16 by 9. I mean, a little bit. See what that looks like. I cropped in the most part I hate the most. But this is too slanted over here. Cut this side. All right, that's a little more interesting, but it's hard to see. Dang it, this is the only part of the image that's centered. Maybe if I crop out some of that and go a bit wider to this. What that looks like. Oh, no gradation. Dang it. Gradation would have brought the shadows up nice and easy for me. I do it that way. Hmm. I like the mountains over here. I wish I could just let me crop in. I do right there. This is hard. Who sent this? Neo? Man, this is hard. There's just too much here. And no part of this image works by itself. It's almost like you got to have the whole thing. But I think this is what I'm going to go with. Eesh, like that mound. Yeah, I would zoom in a little bit more. I would crop in more, but then you can see some stitching errors in here, but that's, that's because I'm cropped in 1,000,000%. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things here. I'm sorry. This is what I'm going to have to go with. This is my final edit. Because I only have five minutes left. All right, I'm sorry. I do have to leave early today. Let's see. Okay, this is another easy one. Let's just crop in and do a pop art. We'll do a square crop. And instant film. Some weird, no, that looks like crap. Try the pop art. And pull this off. Pull it back off here. The normal gradation or auto. And the sharpening back in. What do we do this with? 50 to 200 lens on an EM1 Mark II. This is a really good lens. It's so sharp. Maybe not off center it. Let's just do front and center. This. I would cut and paste this balloon to be a little bit higher, but all right. That was an easy one. Before and after. Just a pop art filter, a little bit of sharpness, desaturate, and we're done. I think that's a lot more crisp and feels a little bit more alive. All right, let's see. I got 3 minutes. Let me look at I'm gonna look at these images real quick. This one. Oh, that's nice. Time lapse. Oh, and Roberto. All right, it's only 3. I can do these fast. Let me download these. So, download. Download. I think this is, yeah, one of my images. All right, let's see. Okay, let's straighten this and fix the white balance, and we're almost done. This will be an easy one. That looks good. A little bit of the skew. We'll go. Ooh, this has a little bit of distortion too. Let's do that. Not too much. Go. And fix the white balance. We need to be a lot cooler. So 2500. Let's just use the button. Let's try this right in here. Can't go below 2000. Why is this? Oh, the white balance is just way too off. Let me try it this way. Where's my tungsten? I was right at about 2200. Let's see. Okay, 2300. All right, that's okay. But forget it. Let's just go. I kind of like the color. And let's make the blacks really black. Keep some of the midtones. Pull the highlights. Let me look at this crop one more time. About there. Best. Yeah, it was a little bit too far back, I think. I just wanted to bring it up a little closer. And let's do that. Make this more gritty in the front. Well, black and white might still be the way to go. Look at that again. Yeah, the only other thing that might be interesting is this. Let me try this real quick. Nah. We have bleach bypass. Yeah, and then a starlight. And let me fix the tone curve to be overcompensated with the dang it. Starlight effect's not working. Turn that off. Okay, look at before and after. Not my best edit because I'm a little bit rushed, but yeah, the biggest problem with this image was just the white balance, and then a slight tilt and crop, and we're done. You know, you can do a lot of different things with this. This would look good in black and white. This looks good with the bleach bypass filter, like just a muted look to it. I should bring up the shadows down here on the street a little better. I think the bleach bypass filter did that. Let me try number 2. This might give it a little softer look. That's better. And this. All right, there we go. That's my final answer. But yeah, good shot. Good shot. All right. Go to the next one. Let's see. Where did it go off to? Here, Star Trail. Oh, okay. Really don't need to do anything here. This is pretty much good as is. I mean, a tiny bit more contrast. Okay, so let's bring out the colors with a pop art, and then just pull the blacks in a little bit. Maybe do it this way. And the whites, a little bit more pop. Let's do tiny bit. Where's the white balance? Let's go a little bit cooler by 3500, because this was so orange. Just wanted to pull that off. Let's see how that looks. It needs to render. Okay. Put the sharpness back in here. This is off. All right, so before and after. So basically just cool it off a tiny bit, and then add some contrast, and I think that's it. Very, very subtle change. It's a nice shot, man. These things take forever, though. Is there any EXIF data? 60 seconds. No, this had to be multiple 60-second shots. But good shot. Good shot. All right, where's the other one? Ah, here we go. I'm not getting any zooming in with my. All right, so I'm gonna do a square crop. EM1 Mark II with a 40 to 150 kit. ISO 800, 1/2000. Yeah, good settings. Perfect. I can normally get away with 1/1000th of a second, but sometimes, yeah, when the dog is moving like this, 1/2000th of a second is about it. Uh, let's get the dog's tail out. Focus on this little guy coming into the frame this way, and sharpness, vintage. Oh, either this. I'm just trying to make this picture a little bit fun with a filter. Yeah, I like that. And a slight tilt. Slight tilt. Let me fix the tone a little bit. And give it a vignette. All right. I mean the keeping the image. I was trying to make it a little fun, but it looks weird. Let me just make it a normal image. I'll just do a normal edit here. A little bit more. My gradation. That's what I need. Gradation. Do about 50. This. Right there is perfect. White balance it a little bit. A little bit more tilt. Any bit more vignette. And I'm done. Hi, Ruben. Yeah, I thought the instant film filter would work, but it really didn't. But okay, there we go. Basically just crop in on the action. The dog looking at the other dog running into the frame. Man, that dog looks so happy. All right, let's look at the edits that you guys did, because I sent my picture out. And where's my original? Let's see. Here's the original image I sent out for you guys to edit. I thought this was a nice image, but yeah, the composition sucks. There was a lot of potential here. So let me see what you guys did. This one, somebody just cut off the horse and everything and just went with a pano. That's cool. This is kind of boring though. There's nothing going on here in the mountain. It's just trees and sky. But that's cool. You don't like horses, I guess. This is an awesome edit, Ivan. Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's nice and soft, but still has some contrast. Need to do a little work on the brushing here, but other than that, it looks good because you brushed out the fence and the fence wire everywhere. But this is, yeah, I like this edit. It's a little bit soft with a little bit of contrast at the same time. And this is good. I like how you just cut off the horse completely. I would have probably went a little tighter then if you didn't keep the whole horses in there, because the horse is walking into the frame, but he's cut off. So I think I would have kept the whole horse in, but I like what you did with the colors. Okay, who is that? Levante. Nice try. This, I think this would work if it was much tighter, but there's no detail left in the shot, like something like this. But there's no detail left in the shot when you do that, because this is my TG5 camera, right? Oh, this is lovely. I really like what you did here. You did a good job brushing the fence out, but you tacked on over here to the right and gave the horse a little room. You know, that's awesome. This must be Serge. Who did this? Either Serge or Neo. Yeah, Serge and Neo. Serge likes to do these plate filters and things on my stuff, and Neo likes to do the composites. But this is really good, Neo. I like how you did this. Um, let's see. This is Von Schwarzschild. Yeah, same idea, right? You kept just part of the horse in. But if you do that, I feel like it needs to be a much tighter crop. And I see what's going on here. You had the same challenge I did with the grass, but really good job on the sky. I think everything is good except the grass here. And a little tighter crop. But yeah, this is a nice edit though. Really excellent job. This is the hardest part. At least in Workspace, this is really hard. Oh, Deb. Ah, this is kind of a normal edit for Deb. Normally she sends these crazy ones in. Wow. Okay. So you narrowed it down to two colors, red and blue, with just a hint of green. This is an interesting look. I don't know